Are you the architect of your existence or merely a passenger in your own story? Every morning, you rise from bed, scroll through your phone, grab breakfast, commute to obligations, return home exhausted, consume entertainment, and collapse into sleep. Tomorrow arrives with the same script, the same characters, the same scenes. You find yourself counting down to Friday, desperately seeking brief escapes from this predetermined narrative. This isn't coincidence, it's conditioning. What we call reality is actually a field of infinite possibilities, constantly responding to our deepest programming. Here's the revolutionary truth. The universe doesn't mirror what you consciously want. It reflects who you unconsciously are. Your life isn't shaped by your dreams and aspirations, but by your subconscious identity, your habitual emotional states, and the stories you tell yourself when no one is listening. You might visualize success while carrying the frequency of failure. You might pray for love while vibrating with the energy of unworthiness. And here's why 95% of humanity remains trapped in cycles of repetition. They believe they're responding to life when they're actually creating it through their unconscious patterns. But there's another way to exist. Throughout this exploration, you'll discover the hidden mechanisms that govern reality creation, and more importantly, how to consciously program your existence instead of living on default settings. If you've ever felt like you're watching your life happen to you rather than through you, if transformation feels impossible despite your efforts, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could be the key to unlocking your authentic power. The quantum nature of human experience. Everything you perceive as solid, your body, your circumstances, your problems, exists first as information, as patterns of consciousness before becoming physical experience. Modern physics confirms what mystics have known for millennia. Reality is far more malleable than we've been taught. At the subatomic level, particles exist in superposition, multiple potential states simultaneously, until observation collapses them into specific forms. Your consciousness operates similarly. Every moment, you're collapsing infinite possibilities into singular experiences through your attention, beliefs, and emotional states. Most people live in what I call reactive consciousness. They wake up feeling yesterday's emotions, thinking yesterday's thoughts, making yesterday's choices. Their consciousness is recycling old patterns, which means they're collapsing the same possibilities repeatedly. The result? A life that feels predetermined, mechanical, and frustratingly familiar. But what if you understood that every morning you're standing at the intersection of infinite timelines? What if you realized that your habitual way of being is actually selecting which version of reality you experience? This isn't metaphysical speculation. It's the practical application of consciousness science. Your brain, neuroplasticity research shows, cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual memories. When you consistently envision and emotionally experience new possibilities, you're literally rewiring your neural networks, creating new personality patterns, and consequently, new life experiences. The monotony you experience isn't punishment, it's feedback. It's your unconscious mind showing you the programs that are currently running your life. Every repetitive problem, every familiar frustration, every predictable pattern is revealing the invisible beliefs that are shaping your reality. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment you become aware of these patterns, you gain the power to change them. Consciousness, when directed intentionally, becomes the ultimate creative force. The identity-reality connection. Your external world is an exact reflection of your internal world, not your conscious desires, but your subconscious identity. Who you believe yourself to be at the deepest level determines what you attract, what you allow, and what you create. Most people try to change their circumstances while maintaining the same identity. They want financial abundance while seeing themselves as someone who struggles with money. They desire fulfilling relationships while carrying stories of unworthiness or abandonment. They seek health while identifying as someone with chronic problems. This creates what I call identity-reality dissonance. Your conscious mind wants one thing, but your subconscious identity is programmed for something else. Guess which one wins? The subconscious, every time, because it operates 24/7, while your conscious will only functions when you're actively thinking about it. Consider this. Successful people don't hope for success. They expect it because success aligns with their identity. Healthy people don't struggle with healthy choices. They make them naturally because health is part of who they are. Happy people don't chase happiness. They generate it because joy is their default emotional state. The secret isn't wanting different results. It's becoming a different person. When your identity shifts, your reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around this new version of you. The programming behind your patterns. Why do intelligent, capable people remain stuck in limiting patterns? Because they're operating from subconscious programs installed during their most impressionable years. Between birth and age 7, your brain predominantly functions in theta waves, the same brainwave state used in hypnosis. During this period, you absorbed beliefs, emotions, and behavioral patterns from your environment without any critical filters. These early programs become your unconscious operating system. They determine how you interpret events, what you expect from life, and how you respond to challenges. Most people spend their entire lives unconsciously replaying these childhood programs, wondering why they can't break free from familiar patterns. But here's the empowering truth. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. Your brain remains neuroplastic throughout your life, meaning you can literally rewire your subconscious patterns through conscious practice. The key is understanding that transformation requires more than positive thinking. You must access the same brainwave states where the original programming occurred. Through meditation, visualization, repetition, and emotional engagement, you can install new programs that serve your conscious intentions rather than sabotage them. The 3 pillars of conscious creation. Effective reality creation operates through 3 interconnected systems: your mental programming, your emotional signature, and your energetic field. Mental programming forms the blueprint of your experience. Your thoughts aren't just mental activity, they're creative instructions. Every thought carries information that influences your biology, your behavior, and your magnetic attraction. If your mental programming runs stories of limitation, struggle, and fear, your reality will reflect these themes consistently. Emotional signature serves as the power source of creation. Emotions aren't just feelings, they're energy in motion, literally. Your predominant emotional states create coherent or chaotic energy patterns that either enhance or diminish your creative capacity. Fear, anger, and resentment generate fragmented energy that creates more of what you don't want. Love, gratitude, and excitement generate coherent energy that magnetizes what you do want. Energetic field acts as your personal broadcasting system. Science now confirms that your heart generates an electromagnetic field extending several feet beyond your body. This field carries information about your internal state and influences everything in your environment. When these three systems align, when your thoughts, feelings, and energy coherently focus on the same outcome, reality reshapes itself with remarkable speed. Most people have these systems working against each other. They think positively while feeling fearful, or they feel good while carrying limiting beliefs. This internal conflict creates external chaos and blocks manifestation. The observer effect in daily life. Quantum physics reveals that the act of observation changes the behavior of particles. In your daily life, what you consistently observe and focus on literally shapes your reality. Your attention is your most powerful creative tool, yet most people use it unconsciously. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. If you constantly observe problems, limitations, and what's wrong with your life, you're unconsciously programming more of the same. Your brain's reticular activating system filters reality to match your dominant focus, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But when you consciously direct your attention toward desired outcomes, potential solutions, and evidence of positive change, you begin collapsing different possibilities into your experience. This isn't wishful thinking, it's practical quantum mechanics applied to daily life. The key is becoming selective about what you observe, discuss, and mentally rehearse. Every time you complain, worry, or focus on problems, you're voting for more of that experience. Every time you appreciate, envision, or focus on possibilities, you're voting for transformation. Breaking the addiction to familiar emotions. Here's something most people don't realize. You can become addicted to your own emotions, even negative ones. If you've been angry, anxious, or sad for extended periods, your body becomes chemically dependent on these states. Your brain associates these familiar emotions with safety, even when they're creating suffering. This is why positive change often feels uncomfortable initially. Your body interprets unfamiliar emotions, even positive ones like joy, peace, or excitement, as potentially dangerous because they're unknown. Your chemistry literally pulls you back toward familiar emotional states, regardless of whether they serve you. Breaking free requires recognizing that your emotions are not you. They're energy patterns you can learn to direct. When you understand that you can generate any emotional state through conscious choice, you reclaim your power over your internal experience. The practice involves catching yourself when you slip into automatic emotional reactions and consciously choosing elevated states instead. This isn't positive thinking, it's emotional mastery. As you become skillful at generating coherent emotional states, your external reality begins reflecting this internal shift. The art of quantum jumping. Traditional goal setting assumes linear progression. You work hard, accumulate experiences, and gradually arrive at desired outcomes. But consciousness operates outside linear time. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously. The version of you that has already achieved your desires exists right now in potential form. Quantum jumping involves energetically stepping into that future version of yourself now, rather than waiting for circumstances to change first. You begin thinking, feeling, and acting as if the desired reality is already true, which creates a resonant field that attracts matching experiences. This requires suspending disbelief and embracing what I call quantum faith, the willingness to embody new possibilities before seeing physical evidence. When you consistently operate from the energy of your desired reality, the universe has no choice but to reorganize circumstances to match this new vibrational signature. Most people wait for proof before believing. Quantum jumping requires believing before seeing proof. You must become comfortable with the unknown, with holding vision despite contrary appearances, and with maintaining faith in possibilities that haven't yet materialized. Practical integration techniques. Understanding these principles intellectually isn't enough. You must embody them through consistent practice. Here's a powerful technique for rewiring your subconscious programming. Consciousness calibration practice. Each morning before engaging with external reality, spend 10 to 15 minutes in intentional creation mode. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, who do I choose to be today? Rather than planning your day based on yesterday's identity, consciously select the version of yourself you want to embody. Visualize yourself moving through your day from this elevated identity. See yourself making choices, handling challenges, and interacting with others from this new perspective. Most importantly, feel the emotions associated with being this version of yourself. Your subconscious mind learns through repetition and emotional intensity. Reality feedback awareness. Throughout your day, treat every experience as feedback about your current vibration. If you encounter frustration, ask, what inside me is creating this experience? If you experience synchronicity or flow, ask, what internal state am I maintaining that's generating this harmony? This shifts you from victim consciousness, where things happen to you, to creator consciousness, where you recognize your role in shaping every experience. Evening integration. Before sleep, review your day not from a place of judgment, but from curiosity. Notice where you operated from your old identity versus your intended identity. Celebrate moments of alignment and gently redirect moments of unconsciousness. As you fall asleep, hold the intention that overnight your subconscious mind will integrate these new patterns more deeply, allowing tomorrow to reflect greater alignment with your conscious intentions. The compound effect of conscious living, small, consistent shifts in consciousness create exponential changes in reality over time, just as compound interest transforms modest investments into substantial wealth. Daily practice of conscious creation transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary experiences. The key is patience with the process while maintaining unwavering commitment to the vision. Your old identity didn't form overnight, and your new identity won't either. But every moment you choose elevated thoughts, emotions, and actions, you're casting votes for a new version of reality. Most people abandon transformation when they don't see immediate external changes. They don't realize that internal shifts precede external shifts, sometimes by weeks or months. The work you're doing in consciousness is real work, creating real changes that will eventually manifest in your physical experience. Trust the process. Stay consistent with your practices. Remain committed to your vision, even when old patterns temporarily resurface. Remember, you're not just changing your life, you're evolving your very identity. And that's the most significant transformation possible. Your moment of choice right now, reading these words, you're standing at a crossroads. You can return to unconscious living, letting hidden programs run your life automatically. Or you can step into conscious creation, taking deliberate control over your thoughts, emotions, and energy. The choice isn't just about what you want to have, It's about who you want to become. Every moment offers you the opportunity to collapse new possibilities into your experience through conscious selection of your internal state. Your life isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. Your circumstances aren't your reality, your consciousness is. When you truly grasp this, everything changes because you realize you've always had the power to create the life you desire. The question isn't whether you have this power, you do. The question is whether you'll use it consciously or continue creating by default. The universe is waiting for your decision, ready to reorganize itself around whatever identity you choose to embody. What will you choose? The familiar prison of unconscious patterns, or the infinite freedom of conscious creation? Your next thought, your next emotion, your next choice is already shaping tomorrow's reality. Choose wisely, because you're always choosing, whether you realize it or not. The power has always been yours. It's time to use it.